I believe that this is the new age of comedy. They say it's the golden era, but I think this is the ownership era. You know, I do a lot of studying. I really take this serious. And there was a time where you could do Johnny Carson and your fame would blossom. There was a time where you could get on Def Jam and be a household name. There was a time where you would get in a movie, and when you would get into that movie, that would skyrocket you to the next level. But what I see now is that you can take control of your own career. And this is across the board. This is not just comedy, but I'm focused on comedy because that's what I want to do for a living. I'm watching these comedians and how they're maneuvering, and I'm trying to take notes and learn because there's no blueprint for this shit. There's no apprenticeship to journeyman to a headliner. That does not exist at this point. And I am surrounded. Let me be clear, because I don't want it to sound like race based. I love black rooms. I love my black people. But I want to be seen and be marketable to everyone. And you can, build yourself in a black room. But when it comes to, I want to tour. I want to tour major comedy clubs. That's why I go to Cap City. That's why I go to Upstage. That's why I go to, the Improvs, because those are the type of comedy clubs that I want to work. Am I above working these other rooms? Absolutely not. But my goal is to get into the rotation of these major comedy clubs and build my career. And I go so hard. Like, I get a lot of compliments from fellow comedians or even OGs like, yo, you're out here hustling. You're out here working. You're out here going the extra mile. And I do. And I feel like it's going to pay off eventually. Sometimes it feels like you're going consistently and nothing's happening. But I've been told by the OGs, enjoy the process. Enjoy what you have going on right now. Like, I realize that I am doing well. I have money in the bank. I got a really good job. I'm taking care of my family. Like, those things are taken care of. I found a job that it provides me an opportunity to travel on the weekends. Like, I have everything kind of preset for that opportunity. For when my number is called and someone says, hey, let's go on a road for a couple of months. I want to introduce you to my audience. I want to help you grow. Like, I set it up for that. And sometimes I can be impatient. Like, I just signed up for the funniest comic in Austin. And I was going back and forth on whether I pay this $25 submission fee. And I'm like, $25 is what I spend on bullshit. So I paid it. There's another comedy festival that one of the homeboys sent me, another $25. I'm going to pay it. You know why? Because this is literally what I want to do. And I've heard the stories like you're going to spend money in the beginning. You'll get that on the back end. And I'm okay with doing it because this is something I'm passionate about. And I do these videos simply because I want to be able to look back at them later, but I also want to be able to help out other people that possibly that are interested in what's going on in my life or in comedy in general. And I know that if you don't post things online, you are pretty much a dinosaur. And you're pretty much hoping and praying that somebody's going to come to a comedy club and see you do stand up and follow you. And I don't think that's how that works anymore. Maybe it does, but that's not how I'm operating. Like, I look back at my 6 years of comedy, because it'll be 7 in July, but in my 6 years of comedy, I've done so much. I've worked with some of the best comedians in the business, and not work with them as far as like featuring or hosting, consistently. It's more of, hey, I'll give you a shot, and I get a shot. And as I grow in this business, I'm learning how to structure jokes. I've featured before, but this past 2 weeks when I featured for Rodney Perry, it felt like this is something that's pushing me in the right direction. It gave me a spark of like, okay, you know what you're doing. You're able to maneuver with the crowd. You're able to get great feedback. To get the check at the end of the weekend was like, we on our way. And I've talked to the improvs. I've talked to the mic drops. I've talked to the punchlines. Like, I've been in communication with these places, but you have to have something for them to be able to sell. Like, I look at who's coming into town and who's doing the one-nighters. I'm looking at the schedule, finding out who's getting those full weekends. And looking at their numbers and what they provide and what I provide, and my numbers are totally opposite. And that's probably why I'm not getting the headlining gigs or the featuring gigs that I think that I deserve. Like, back in the day for black comics, there was, the Bay Area competition. There was auditions that you can do to get on Comic View, or auditions to get on Def Jam. There is nothing like that right now. They got Don't Tell, right? You can get on Don't Tell. I seen that they have a competition. The Funniest Comedian in Austin, they do that in pretty much every state. But growing your audience is the key, right? You can do this on your own. Like, I'm watching Josh Johnson, and I know Josh has been doing comedy for a while. I know that he's worked with, Comedy Central and Trevor Noah and The Daily Show, and watching Ali do comedy for years, and finally taking his own taking his own risks and betting on himself and how that transitions. Watching Nate Jackson do crowd specials consistently for a year and building his following. Like, I'm watching and I'm learning and I'm figuring it out in real time. And sometimes I get my head wrapped around, like, I'm not getting booked downtown in Austin as much as I think I should be, or maybe I'm not communicating with the producers enough, or maybe I have a bad reputation. I don't understand it, but I can't let that stop me. I have to find other ways. Like, there's a booker in San Antonio that is giving me a hard time. And it's only because I'm honest, because I tell the truth. And I'm not trying to ruffle feathers. I'm just like, this is the type of person that I've been raised to be. I'm not corny. I'm not an ass kisser. I don't force friendships just for opportunities. That shit is fake to me. If it happens organically, great. If it doesn't happen organically, then I feel like it's forced. And if I feel like it's forced, I don't feel like I'm being true to myself or true to the individual. But I do understand sometimes you got to work with someone. They got to see your work and then, oh shit, you're funny as shit and you're cool to hang out with. Why don't you come and do this show? That's how I got my first set at Sunset. Was I was performing with a comedian that runs a show and he saw me do extremely well. I did the show and I killed that show. Sometimes you just need opportunities. I did Litty Titty Tuesdays at Cap City. Not Cap City, I'm sorry. I did Litty Titty Tuesdays at the Creek in the Cave, and people were getting the lights to get off stage. I made it through the entire time. I had the crowd laughing. But I don't understand why I'm not getting booked as much in Austin, especially in the downtown area. But again, I can't focus on those things. I have to continue to move forward. And that's my plan, is to continue to move forward. Focus on what I can control. And what I can control is doing videos like this. Posting clips from the sets that I do. And I'm not opposed to posting some of my funniest shit simply because those are the things that's going to get traction. I was in Colorado this past weekend, paid money to be able to be a part of a festival. And that's just investing in myself. And I'm okay with doing that because I believe in the craft that wholeheartedly. And I'm only going to get better as I continue to go. Only going to get better. So I'll look back at this in 5 years, 10 years and say, do you remember when you were in this position and how you felt? Because I'm watching the OGs and they're telling me, hey, it took me this many years and finally I got my headlining weekend. Once I get my headlining weekend, I was like, finally made it. When I got my first big check, I was like, holy shit. Like, I still am waiting for those moments. Like, I have this fucking, I like to keep these checks. I like to keep these checks. These are the checks that I make when I've started comedy. The first Side Splitters, $700 from a show that I created to help out other comics, but also it was my first show within being in the city for less than 8 months. That's a great fucking amount of money from people that came out to see people they didn't even know. So I know I have the capabilities of putting something together. I know I have what it takes to be a comedian. Am I in it to be the best comedian? No, I just want to be a part of the league and be able to score 30 points a game. That's it. Maybe defensive player of the year. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in it to be scoring champion. I'm not in it to be like, I need 6 rings or, I'm in it just to be a part of I want to be considered, that comedian, that's a funny motherfucker. He is worth the price of admission. And we're going to get there. We're going to keep moving. We're going to keep running it. And there's times where I think like, what else could I do? Could I downsize where I live to save money so I could put more money into comedy? Because like, I'm literally in my living room right now. Cell phone camera, got a little light, that's it. But I'm going to do this until things get better, until it increases. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, if you want to know information, like put it in the comments what you like to see, because I can tell you about things that are happening in Austin if you're not living out here. I can give you insight on what the scene is about or what the scene looks like from my point of view. And I don't want to trash anybody, so it's not going to be a bunch of negative shit. If something happens and I feel like I need to talk about it, of course I'm going to say something, but I've learned that in this city, because it's so early in the stages, you got to be careful how you maneuver. You just got to. And if I got to play the game, play ball. That's what we're going to do. When people come from out of town and I go downtown, they're like, man, you know pretty much everybody. I pretty much either had interactions with these people or I know them and they know of me for whatever reason. And I'm going to continue to work at it until I become one of the guys. All right, man. I'm going to go to bed because it's late and I got to work in the morning. But I'll be in San Antonio June 11th and 12th. I'm working with LeVar Walker at Upstage Comedy Lounge. What other? That's the main one. I'm going to be in Houston this coming up weekend. And that's it. That's what I got so far. I just did a whole bunch of shows throughout April and March. So I need to start reaching out and filling up May, June, and July. The kids are going to be gone this summer, so I got nothing but time. I'm probably going to be out a lot this summer. Shout out to Ashley, too, because Ashley be looking out for me. I really appreciate you. I really do. All right, man. Peace. Holla at y'all niggas.